The Lions finally get good news after the Cowboy game was stolen. We're going to find out what kind of leader we truly have in Dan Campbell and why Sheila, Chris Spielman went after this guy. Yes, Dan Campbell has already turned the Lions around from this lovable, not even lovable, just loser to a team that won the division in just a couple of years. So at the podium today, he was asked, of course, about the situation. He says, "Why do you guys want to talk about this? I'm not getting into it. We're on a mission and we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves and wallow in everything. We had plays to make and we didn't make them." Dan Campbell has turned the Lions around unbelievably. Give him credit for that. But this guy wants more. He said at the beginning of the season, this is going to be a special season, fellas, and he's not going to let this Cowboy game get in the way. If you're new to the channel, we make videos all about the Detroit Lions. Obviously, a lot of news lately, but finally some good news. First, you get a leader really showing his true colors. Dan Campbell's an incredible leader, and he said he called this a blessing. He said that, look, the tournament hasn't even started yet. So we got to go into a playoff atmosphere against a good team, feel the loss, but the season's still going. So we're able to just almost simulate what it would feel like if you don't win in the playoffs without the playoffs actually starting. I get it. I love it. I love that he's using this to move on. He's an incredible leader. The guy's 6'5", 270 or whatever he is. You know, he's just got a presence about him and he wants to turn this thing around and keep on going. Next good news. It appears that CJ Gardner-Johnson and Aleem McNeil could play against the Vikings in the final game of the season. Really love this for a couple of reasons. A, you get these guys back and in, but then they kind of allow for some of our other guys that have been playing a lot of minutes to get some rest, possibly to rotate in. This would be huge. You add just a pure playmaker to the defensive side of the ball, where the defense, and that's what is so unfortunate, is that game overshadowed how well the defense played. There was one mistake by Derek Barnes. Outside of that, yes, CeeDee Lamb got going a little bit there against Cam Sutton, but the defense played really well. The Cowboys have been putting up 30 points a game at home, and the defense played great. So to add CJ Gardner-Johnson to the defense would be outstanding. Also, Aleem McNeil, just to start working him in, get him in a little bit. This week is a weird, we'll see how the Lions play it, but kind of a bye week because really we're kind of locked in that third position. Third seed can't fall any lower than 3. 2 would be almost, it's unlikely, not highly unlikely. So you can play it however you want. And the Vikings really, they lost last week. So the Vikings are almost out of it, but they still have a chance. So they're going to be playing for everything they can. But this is interesting to see how you play it. I love to see that. We'd love to get CJ involved, is what Dan Campbell said. CJ Gardner-Johnson continues to say that he's ready to rock and roll, and that he wants to get in the season finale so he can be ready for the playoffs. Aleem McNeil, love to get Mac involved. Later noting it's Monday, but that's what's tentatively in my head, to get him involved. Love that. And then, so Aleem McNeil and CJ Gardner-Johnson. Now, back to the play is, if you didn't see it, the officials basically said, the NFL's response to this was, Lions, you were trying to get a little deceptive, and the gamesmanship you were using backfired. That's on you. I will say, the more I actually see it, I'm less angry. I'm still angry. And still, I'm just so unfortunate. Love the storyline. Decker, 2-point conversion. The whole thing's awesome. But it is true that, you put yourself in a tough spot there. You're going for 2. You're going to try to win the whole thing. But the deception was part of the plan. Like, that is what we were trying to do. We weren't trying to fool the official. Lesson learned. I mean, gee whiz. But we were trying to fool the Cowboys. Look at these guys are huddling up. Oh yeah, 70's been kind of coming in. So when the official goes to tell the Cowboys, hey, 68's eligible, they'll be like, yeah, we know 70. We've been watching him all game. He comes in and out. That was the whole point. Yes, we were being deceptive. Why do you snap the ball on 2 sometimes? Because you're trying to try to get them to jump and I mean, why do you do half the things you do in sports is to be deceptive and try to trick the other team? Why do you run fake punts? Why do you run reverses? It's like, wait, you can't do that because we thought you were going this way. You can't, you know, are you kidding me? Like that's what that sounds like. So the deception thing is just come on. So I'm less angry now just because I've had a chance to look at it, learn from it. Dan Campbell's saying the right things, which is just awesome. We can't take that for granted because, geez, I was listening to I don't know why I'm sick. I was listening to Matt Patricia for some reason with the Eagles talking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. He's giving no answers. He's not saying anything. And it's like, come on, man. So Dan Campbell is able to just talk to not only the players, he can talk to the players, but the media, the fans, get us all kind of settled down. Hey, it's the way it is. Let's go. And it really just let's get into the tournament and let's start rolling. I'm like, that's kind of where we're at right now. And Dan Campbell will have these guys ready no matter where we're playing and what's going on. So let's look at what else Dan Campbell said. This is what I was talking about. Campbell called the Cowboys incident a blessing because unlike the Saints who are out, the Lions are still alive and can use this going forward. Because Campbell compared this incident to one he experienced in New Orleans. Officials missed a blatant pass interference in the NFC Championship game during the playoffs, sending the Rams to the Super Bowl. If you remember that, that was bad. So Campbell compared it to that. Saints were out. Lions are still going. We've got to taste what it's like to lose, but we still have a chance. We haven't even started the tournament yet, which is awesome and great perspective. And you just got to move on from the seeding. And it just doesn't matter. We get our home playoff game, and then you get that. You gotta. It just doesn't matter because you have to win that home playoff game. I just don't see how the Lions lose that. It doesn't matter who's coming into town. Right now, it's looking like Green Bay or Matt Stafford. Couldn't hate either one more. I mean, it's just so. It's like Packers. Like I just, you just don't want to see a divisional opponent at all, just because those get weird and who knows. So I don't like that. And then number 2, I don't like the Stafford. I don't like that at all. Just because I'm scared to death to lose to either one of them and just have to hear about it for all off season. So it's like I don't care who we play. Let's just beat either team, right? So it doesn't matter. And then we know it's going to come down to us. If we can get out of that first weekend, then here we go. Then it's us, Eagles, Niners, and throw somebody else in there. It's like, okay, like that's it. And then you're down to 4, couple more wins, and you're in the Super Bowl. And it's not that hard to think about that could happen just because we saw the Lions go to Dallas Saturday night, everything, the whole thing, and the Lions are right there. Like they can play with anybody now. The defense has really settled down since the Ravens game. Like that was the one. Well, and there were some other games there too, but I mean, like the Ravens game, I think we get stuck on that. I still do. If we play the Ravens in the Super Bowl, then so be it, right? Like, we'll take that 10 out of 10 times. Well, who knows? Maybe weird things happen. But we're not going to see Lamar Jackson until the Super Bowl. So he's a terrible matchup, and they're going to kill us. But up until then, we can manage. The defense is just so much better just in these last month with the moves of Iffy Melifonwu, the cornerback position settle down, CJ Gardner-Johnson coming back, Aleem good, guys are healthy, offensive line's healthy, all that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you